I go on mute?
No, you can speak. It's okay. So
Alright.
I just made the platform here in the skybox. I really recommend making platforms with the Pro Builder in Unity.
Mm.
So to get that, you have to go here in Package Manager and then the Unity registry, and then search for Pro Builder. Because you see, it has this texture which looks nice, the default texture, rather than
Also, what's
being
the
white.
package code?
Sorry?
What's the package code?
Pro Builder, Pro Builder.
Okay.
You can also with that make more complex shapes, and also you can snap stuff in place uh, with that. So let's start with the player. We need the capsule, which will replace maybe later with the character, but for now we use the capsule. So we need the rigid body on this, and because we don't want this to interact physically with stuff, we'll freeze the rotation, all the rotations, X, Y, and Z. Now, also the camera should move with the player, so the camera will be a child of the player. We can drag this as a child. And now we'll reposition it a little bit. Just reset here to go to 0, 0, 0, which, because it's a child, this is relative to the player. Position that a little bit. And for the camera controls, I will not explain the code because I don't understand it. I just use ChatGPT for this. But the idea is it converts the mouse movement using the axis to convert it to rotation, and also make sure that is within some limits. So if you're looking down, you cannot go further than 90 degrees down or up.
Did you make the FPS camera script?
No, it's from made with ChatGPT.
Okay.
It also rotates the player to look in the direction of the camera. So let's start with the controls for the player. We need a script for that. I just click there. This is a bit simpler than the third person. We're moving, and also because the camera scripts rotates the player towards the direction of the camera, we can use the direction relative to the player to move
And
it.
are you gonna use rigid body or a character controller?
I'm using a rigid body for this.
Alright.
So let's start with the rigid body with the rigid body variable. We need move speed. We need a jump force for jumping. And let's start with the rigid body of the player. Also, let's create two floats for the input because I will use the axis for the forward, backward, and left, right movement. If you don't know what this is, I can explain. So in the update, we get the input for the movement. Sorry, not axis. Okay. And in fixed update, we update the velocity. We have to do it in fixed update code because we update it every frame.
Okay.
So we have to create. Okay, we'll make a vector 3 for the velocity. Now the direction we are moving is horizontal axis time transform right. So the right relative to the player, and then the vertical axis times forward. That's the direction actually. We should call it direction.
Right.
So the velocity will be that direction times the speed. But if you just keep it like this, then we always have 0 on the y. So when we update the rigid body velocity, this will stop up and down movement. So to fix that, we change the y of this to the y of the rigid body. So we maintain the movement on the y-axis. And then we update it. Okay.
But you have to do time dot delta time.
No.
Okay.
You use time delta time when you do stuff in update. If you use transform translate or transform rotate or stuff like that.
Also, it's only an update.
No, I mean it's used for other stuff, not the rigid body. It's used for functions like transform translate, for example. So that one moves teleports the object towards the direction by using a vector tree. Because the idea is, let me show you an example. Translate. Let's say forward. That means moving forward 1 unit. Because the idea is you want to multiply here with time delta time. Because the idea is if you don't, this will be faster or slower depending on the frame. Because if you have 60 frames a second, this happens 60 times a second. But if you have 100 frames a second, this happens 100 times. So it's faster if you have more frames per second. But if you multiply with the time difference between frames, that it will always be the same speed regardless of the frame rate. That's the idea. But here we don't need to do that. Just update the velocity of the body. So that's everything for the movement. What will be complicated is the actually we should do the jump as well. So for the jumping, we also need a bool to know if you're jumping. By default, it's false. So for the jumping, we first check if you're not jumping, because we can only jump if we're not jumping. In that case, we check for input. For sweep up, then we say jumping true, because we're jumping. And then the velocity, we only change the y of the velocity to our jump force here. So we say the velocity equals new vector 3. And here we want to maintain the x and the z movement. So we put x of the velocity on x. On y we put the jump force. And then we maintain the z as well. That's for jumping, but now the issue is once we jump, this is true forever. So we have to reset it when we touch a platform. So for that we use the on collision function, on collision enter function, and we check if it is a platform. Okay. Just say it's jumping, it's false. And that should be everything for the movement. Um, let's also add a canvas here. Okay, scale with screen size, that is what with the resolution. And let me go on my desktop and
Wait, can I ask you something about the canvas scaler?
1 second, let me drag these sprites here.
Alright.
Also, because this is a 3D project, if we try to change this to sprite here, we do not have the sprite package. So you have to, if you have a 3D project, you have to install the sprite package. Okay, you can ask the question.
The on the canvas scaler.
Yes.
Why is it? See how it's like you put 1920 and then 1080. Underneath it, there's like a match.
I'm not sure
thingy.
actually. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because I saw people do match 0.5 and then other people just do match 0. I'm not sure which one to put.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. Actually, I'm not sure. I like to put the resolution that I'm using, and it usually works if you change the resolution here, as long as it's not something ridiculous like the resolution on a phone or something like that. Not sure what that means. I'm sorry. This here. I usually keep it 0, but I'm not sure what it means. So I added these sprites because I want to add a circle in the middle, so we know where the middle is.
Okay.
It doesn't work because this is in sprite mode multiple. This is just one image, so it needs to be single here.
Do you like making 2D games more or 3D?
I prefer 2D more. But I liked working on the cooking game. That one was fun. I think I will add some stuff to it. Most of it. I was thinking of making a multiplayer, but that's very difficult.
You ever make a multiplayer game?
I played a bit with multiplayer. You don't make a full game. It's not. It's like five times harder than making a single player game.
Yeah. Recently, I was searching online about like multiplayer, not to do it, just to like get myself used to like what I'll need to do if I ever use multiplayer, and it's pretty complicated.
We can add the player script to a player, and then give it some speed, and then some jump force, and this here should not be public actually. We don't need to see this. That's it. That's it for the movement. We just need to make sure that the platform actually has the platform tag. And then we can look at how to make guns.
Okay.
This is easy, but if you want to have a character, that's much harder to do because you have to separate the hand movement from the legs. Let's test. Yep, seems to work. See? So
you should put lock on the thingy now.
What do you mean? The mouse?
Yeah, so it's like locked in place.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we should say that.
Diaper
Let's
asked, what should the gravity scale for 3D games be?
get him. What should the gravity scale to the game? Um, I usually keep it the default one, but I'm not even sure if you have a gravity scale. Let me see. So you see here, there's no value. You just either use gravity or you do not use gravity. There's no scale. Um, for the gun, let's see. We need a model first.
Wait, see this character controller?
Sorry.
I've noticed with like player characters, when you like when you're in the air and then you like hold W and you're like walking into a wall, you can like float.
Yes,
Will this
yes.
like character do that or no?
Right now with the code that I made here, that will happen. Yes, you will float if you touch a wall. I think.
Oh,
Um, there is a way to fix it. I think. Um, but we'll look at
because
that.
that glitch happened to me in my 2D game, my platformer.
I'm not
I
sure
didn't
how
know
to
how to
fix
fix
it.
it.
Yes, possibly you see here on the collider you can put a physics material. Maybe you should make a physics material with bounciness. Maybe you bounce off the wall. I'm not sure because it could be a problem even if you do that because you update the in this case you update the velocity every frame, so the bounciness
Mm.
does not happen because of that. I'm not sure how to fix it actually. But let's start with the gun. Let's make it here. Back this was no longer prefab. Call it what it is. Um, Now we can either pick guns from the ground and equip them, or we can change between guns with 1, 2, 3, and 4. What would you like?
I think the 1, 2, 3 would be nice.
Okay. Also, we need a script for this. For the gun. Okay. So this will be Children of the Camp, I think.
I was always curious of how to make like 3D shooter games because when I was younger, I used to always play, like Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, I played that as well.
Yeah. I used to always play the Infinite Warfare one and Black Ops 3. I loved.
Also, I don't know what the camera's looking. Oh, my bad. I made a mistake. It's that away. Like that.
You have to do
Exactly.
like camera clipping.
I don't know what that is.
Wait, go to the main camera.
Yeah.
There, the near in the clipping planes. Put it to like 0.1, I heard.
What does that do?
So it's basically like the distance you can see from, and then if you put it to 0.3, then the gun's kind of gonna get glitched, and it's gonna like be
We'll
invisible,
see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. We can change that. Um, doesn't look very good. Maybe it's still too big. Yeah, it's still too big.
Maybe put the gun beside the player. No? A bit closer. Yeah.
I'll take a little bit on the Y. Looks like that. But, something like that. I guess we got this as a child of the camera. Let's see if it works. So, yep, that's okay. But we'll replace the dot, I think. I don't know. But let's create some enemies here.
Wait, are you gonna use raycast or?
Yes, recast. This will be
Or
recast. Create some red material for this. So that's another. Okay, let's just a little bit. Give it enemy tag. Not only the enemy tag, we also give it the layer tag, the enemy layer. So when we recast specifically,
what
specifically.
are layers?
These are physics layers. So with this, you can disable and enable interactions between different physics layers, between different objects. So, for example, you also have this physics matrix here. So here you see you can
Yeah.
disable interactions between layers. So for example, if you don't want the enemies to interact physically between themselves, we just click this enemy.
And then what's gonna happen to the enemy?
It will not interact with other enemies physically if you do that. Let's see, typo says what comes after keeping the gun up. We switch between guns with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 numbers. That's what we're trying to do here. Let's have two enemies here. Also, this should have an HP.
Wait, if you don't mind, could you explain layers again? I'm actually so confused.
Yes. So with
I'll
this,
always
you can
ignore them.
you can interact. You have different physics layers to stop or enable interaction between layers, and also to select when you raycast to target a specific layer. So that way, when we raycast this specific layer, will not target anything
So
else.
so basically, if your raycast touches enemy,
Sorry?
so basically, like if the raycast is pointing towards the enemy layer, or
No, it means if you for example raycasted the platform, it will not touch it because we specifically raycasted this enemy layer. Only we target only objects with the enemy layer. That's what it is. You'll see in
so
a second.
only the things with enemy layer gets like damaged.
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
When we raycast, the ray will not touch anything other than uh, enemies. That's the idea.
oh, okay.
For the enemy, we have a script with HP and the ability to get damage.
For me, I put one time if the raycast like collides with compare tag enemy. I think that's what I used.
Yeah, that also should work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also an idea is that works almost the same. Now for the enemy, we need the public HP or yes, public. I'll just call it health. We can delete the start an update. And we want to make a public function that will damage the enemy. Also, we want to know the damage here. So first of all, we check if the damage kills our enemy or not. So say if at smaller or equal to 0, or actually you can just subtract from the health. If it's more or equal than 0, we can have a dead condition here. For now, we just destroy it. The gun will be a bit more complicated. Also, when we recast, very important, we do not recast from the gun. We recast from the player forward. So that way, when we recast, it's on that dot in the middle always.
Oh yeah.
So the gun also needs to know the player transform. Okay. So here, let's say public transform. We have a damage, but not float. Wait, my bad. I made it float. This should be integer. The damage should be integers. Let's see. We also need the clip ammo. So the ammo that's in the gun right now. Also, let's say total ammo, or just ammo.
How's your app that you're making?
What up? Sorry, I don't remember. The one with the
The
tutorials?
yeah.
I did not work on that. I just recently did the cooking game. I did not work on the tutorials.
Okay.
So this we have the ammo in the gun that's in the gun right now, and we have the rest of the ammo. This will not be easy to make. Okay, so bear with me. This is not easy to make. Well, first of all, we need some UI for this. Unfortunately, I did not find pictures of the guns because in the corner we want to have the, you can see the ammo in the corner. But now what we'll do is we'll make a canvas on the gun itself. So each gun will have their own canvas. Gun canvas. Also stretching. Let's go to the 2D view of the canvas. We want to create an empty object that will hold the UI here. So it's always in the corner. We press some anchors. So these arrows here are the anchors. So we just should make sure it's always in the same place and are the same size. If I do this and place them in the corner,
What do the anchors do?
they make sure that the object is always in the same place and the same size. That's
Okay.
what it is for. So here we need the name of the gun. Let's see how that looks in full screen. That's a bit too big. Okay, and here we'll put the name of the gun. Import TMP. I did this before, and I'll tell you in advance, it's not easy to make the ammo system. Also, I should probably comment the code. We'll just do one gun today, and then. But how much time do you have?
Like you said, an hour is good.
Okay, then we'll stop at one gun, and
Okay.
I'll prepare some sound effects and visual effects for the next time. Okay, so for this one we'll keep it centered, the text, like this one.
Oh yeah, sound effects would be nice, because I wanna I wanna learn how you put sound effects in the game.
And we also want to stretch this text here.
You should make a first-person game, shooter game.
So that's the name of the gun here. Let's rename that to gun name text. That's the gun name holder. And below we'll have the ammo. I'll just copy paste that. Um, so let's say rename this. Also the subject is a bit too large. We position it. We'll add an image as well, sprite. I have to find some to represent the gun here in the corner. Okay, we have that. Now this the ammo text, we need to have that in script. We have to add TMP here using TM Pro. So that's a TMP text, ammo text. And let's start, or actually, let's have a function here. Let's say update ammo text. It will say that that text is equal to the clip ammo to string plus, excuse me a sec. Okay, and then we have this symbol, and then the total ammo that we have. At the start we update this, we update. Also we want to update on enable. So when we switch guns and enable the gun, we also update the ammo. And excuse me a second, I'm sorry, excuse me. So you update the text at the start if this is the gun that we start with, and we also update it on enable. So when the object is enabled, we also update the text. Now we want to shoot the gun. So in update we check for the left mouse button. But let's do it only if we have ammo. So if the clip ammo is bigger than 0. You guys can hear me, right? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So we check for the left mouse button and then we shoot. The first thing that we do
What's
is,
the on enable thing?
so whatever you put in here happens when you enable this object. Because we switch
Oh.
between guns by disabling one and enabling the other.
Oh, is that like a Unity function?
Yes, it's an unity function.
Oh, okay.
Listen.
I never knew about that.
So if it's blue like this, it's an unity function. If it's yellow, then it's made by.
Oh, okay, okay.
So the first thing we do is remove one ammo because we should say clip ammo minus minus. But we want to have a delay between these um, between each bullet, so we don't shoot like 60 bullets a frame. We have some cooldown for shooting. So we need to create that. So we have a cooldown and then a counter. For the cooldown, we can make it public so we can see it in the inspector and change it. The counter starts from 0. And in here, we add time to that counter, but only if it's smaller than the cooldown. So if the counter is smaller than the shoot cooldown,
What's shoot counter for?
we count the time here, and when it reaches the cooldown, we can shoot. Okay. So we count the time in this in seconds. We add the time delta time. But we only increase it if it is smaller than the cooldown. And then also here we shoot only if this counter is above or equal to the cooldown. So we also check here and if the shoot counter. I'm sorry, I'm lagging. If this is bigger or equal to the shoot cooldown, okay. And then when we shoot, we reset this counter. So here we make it 0 again, so we can count time again. Also here we want to raycast forward from the player view. But actually I'm not sure even if it's the player. Wait, I don't think it's the player that we raycast from. I think it's the camera.
Yeah.
Yes, it is not the player. I made a mistake here. So we don't need the player transform in the camera. Transform. And you can get it in the start now. You can say actually it's the parent of this. Let's transform parent. So we need to raycast, but for that let me check the ChatGPT, sorry, because it's different than in 2D. Yes. Okay, we'll use this one. So first of all, we need a raycast heat that will hold the information about the raycast. Raycast heat here. Then we raycast. We want to raycast from the camera transform. That's the position where we start the raycast. Then the direction is the forward of the camera. Out heat here, so the information will go to this variable. Range, we have to create the range. Yes, we should also have here a float shoot range. So uh, how long the ray is. And then we want to target the enemy layer specifically. So here we also let's make a public layer mask. So with this, you can decide which layer to target. So you can, but we call it enemy layer. So enemy layer. So at the end here, we target only enemies. And this will be true if it hits something. So if it hits something, then we want to deal the damage to the enemy. So we'll just say we need to get the enemy script first. So we'll say enemy script equal hit collider. So this represents what we hit with the raycast. Then we get the component, which is the enemy script that we made. And then we deal the damage. So enemy get hit, and then we use the damage from the gun here. So let me comment this. So we check if we have ammo, and we are not on cooldown. On left click.
How much is the shoot cooldown?
We can change it to whatever value we want. We have to
Okay.
experiment with it. So here we reset the counter, and this is the reason I make an if statement here, and we add the time only if it's not only if it's below the cooldown. Is that is because we don't want to forever increase this. So we set the counter. Remove one bullet. Now we raycast from the camera forward. Here we get the enemy script deal damage. Also, since we changed the ammo, we want to update the text after this. But only if we hit only if we. Well, actually, I'm looking at this, and we should only. Oh, never mind. That's. So here we just update the text. Also, we should have a little animation for shooting, which I will make as a coroutine. So we'll have an animation for this. Shoot animation, let's call it. Although we could try, actually, I don't know if you can make it with this will not have recoil at the moment. We can actually do it with the animator, I think, but that would mean we have a.
Wait, add recoil with the animator?
No, so what I want to do is I want to move the gun backwards and forwards when you shoot really fast.
Okay.
That's the animation. We'll do a coroutine for this because it happens over time. That's what it has to be, a coroutine.
And how would you put recoil?
You'll have to move the camera when you shoot to have recoil.
So like put like add force up?
No, because the camera does not have a rigid body, so you'll have to move it randomly by a certain vector tree when you shoot each bullet. That's how. Not move it, rotate it. So you rotate it on the.
On the
Uh,
Y, no?
yeah, yeah. You rotate it
Okay.
when you shoot
Hmm.
randomly
It'd be
with
funny
by a
if
certain amount.
if you put recoil and it's like the
We can
recoil
try.
is like
We can try
90
to do that.
degrees up.
We can try to do that. Okay. So let's have a duration first of all. For duration, let's go with animation. Specific. Let's say really fast, like quarter of a second. Now we move it backwards and forward over time. I showed you this before. It's a weird for loop.
The hell?
If you want me to explain it, let me know. If not, just,
Please explain it.
oh, okay. Let me write it
So
first, actually. So we'll go from a start position to an end position over time. That's what we'll do here. But first, we need to know those positions, which are vector trees. Start position equal will be the position right now. Uh, but let me see. I want to check something before we continue. Does the forward work or not here? Yes, it does work. You see, because it's relative to the. Yeah, that works. Okay. We'll use the local position, not the position in workspace. So the position will be relative to the parent. So here we transform local position. That's the starting point. Now we want to know the distance that we go backwards with the gun. I'll say here float distance. Make it small for now. So then position will be the start position minus, because we go backwards first, the distance times vector 3 forward. And we play with this. See if it moves correctly. Now that we have that, we can move the gun. So transform that local position equal.
couldn't you make like a animation like a normal one?
Yes, but we have different guns, and I don't know if it works for all of them. I don't know if we can have one animator on all the guns. I'm not sure, so that's why music.
Maybe like serial what's no scriptable objects, no?
I don't know about serial scriptable objects,
For
but
oh
this
yeah,
is
could you actually do
that in terms
on
in,
the next episode, like on the next session, could you make it so when you make the new weapons, so they're all about like scriptable objects? So like
I
the
don't know about
pistol
that.
might have
I don't know about that, unfortunately.
scriptable object.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Try help
We
because
can
I
discuss
practiced.
it next time if you want. You can explain it
Alright.
next time because we only have like 10 to 15 minutes, I think. Um, so we just finished
Yeah,
the
next time.
animation and after that we'll stop. Next time we'll do the reload, effects, and different guns, switching between guns.
Alright.
So right now we use the vector 3 lerp, which is like mathf lerp but for vector trees. And I'll explain this in a second how this works. So how does this for loop work? Okay, you have a float instead of an integer that starts from 0 and goes to 1. And then we add the time difference between frames each time we go through the loop. Each time we loop this, and each time we loop, we wait 1 frame. That's what this means here. It means, let me comment. We have to wait one visual frame. But
Wait,
we
could
want,
you put if like what's a slash like those double slashes on the for loop to explain it?
you want me to comment the
Yeah, can you
floor?
comment it?
Okay, but let me explain it first. Okay, so this goes from 0 to 1, and because we had time difference between frames each frame, in other words, we count seconds in that t. So if you just consider this part, this will last one second. And because we want this to last a specific amount of time, we divide this time delta time by a float here. So that way this will last that amount of seconds. So in this case, 0.25 seconds. And then with the vector 3 lerp function, we select vector 3 between the starting position and the end position by this using this third parameter t, which goes from 0 to 1. So 0 represents we're at the starting position, 1 if it's 1 we're at the end, and if it's between, let's say 0.5, then we are exactly between these two positions. So that's what, because this goes from 0 to 1, this goes from the starting position to the end position. Okay, so that's how this works. So let me comment this for loop that lasts animation duration amount of time. Okay, here update the position. Uh, Bit frank. Uh, I hope that makes sense. Uh,
Wait, that's from 0 to 1, and then plus equal time dot delta time divided by animation duration, so 2.5. I mean 0.25.
yes, so that way this will last this amount of seconds, this float here. But the problem with this is it does not reach the exact value sometimes. So we have to say that the position at the end is the end position. So that will move the gun backwards. Now we have to move it back to the initial position. So we'll go from the end position to the start position. We'll just copy paste this loop. And here we change this. We start from the end position, we go to the start. And at the end we change it to the start.
Okay.
And ideally this should, not ideally, this has to be uh, faster than the cooldown of the gun, so we don't overlap these coroutines. So we want to start this regardless if we hit something or not. So at the beginning here we start that animation. So we just need to make sure that the cooldown on the gun is bigger than the animation duration. Let's make it faster. Okay, let's test it now. And then we'll stop for today because I don't think we have enough time. Sorry, it takes a while to load. We need a couple of variables first. So here on the gun, we need to select the damage, the enemy layer here for the layer mask. So, and here you can select multiple layers if you want to target. So layer mask can hold multiple layers. As, so remember that. Also the shooting range, I don't know about this. We need the text of the ammo. Clip, let's put some random values, doesn't matter. And this is important, the cooldown needs to be bigger than the animation duration.
0.5, no?
Now there is an issue here that we take, here we need to consider that we have two for loops. So this will not last 0.15, it will be this times 2. Let's make it smaller. And let's see if it works. Well, also, let's give the enemies the script and some HP.
All right.
Make sure that works out well.
But then instead of making the shoot animation via code,
So,
would you be able to make it like with a normal animator?
I think yes, but the issue was, uh, I don't know if we can have the same animation on all the guns. That's the issue. I'm not sure about that. So that's why I made it by script. So it will be
True,
the
because
same
it's
for.
different game objects.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather be safe and use a cool thing. So we have the enemies. Yeah. These are in the collect rare. Let's test it now. Oh, also, I made a mistake there because uh, we can have guns that are automatic and guns that are not.
Oh yeah.
So you see, it does work. You see, it now it's dead.
Oh yeah.
But there is an issue now, which is that this gun is semi-automatic. It's not automatic.
Oh, you put the UI thing wrong. The text as well.
Okay, we'll change that. But the bigger problem is we want to have guns that are automatic and that are not automatic. Um, and it's very simple. We make a bull for that, public, and after that we'll stop. So we make a bull to know if this is automatic, and we have two shooting logics depending on that, if it's automatic or not, which will be very simple. Just make an if statement. If it is automatic, um, one second, I think. Yeah, we update the gun at the end. You don't need to copy that. Okay. So if it's automatic, we remove this down from here, and else we use the same code, but we use on the input get mouse button down. So it happens just once. Uh,
Uh, and then
uh,
the get mouse button, is it like the holding
so if it's automatic, we do this every frame. If it's not,
until you let go?
yes, exactly. We do it every
Alright.
frame while the mouse button is pressed down. And if it is semi-automatic, we do it once when the gun is pressed down. So this will happen once at the exact moment that the mouse is pressed. So this is for semi-automatic, and this is for automatic, and we'll test it, and that's it for today. See if it works. The reload will be a
And
bit more difficult.
change the text as well. You put the wrong what's it? The
The
wrong
order,
you
I
put the
think. Here, the clip.
no Spectre. You put the AK-47 instead of the 30 by 100.
Wait, you see that inside the 30 by 100?
No, like go to the inspector of the gun, I think.
Oh, I see. Yes, yes. I understand now. Okay, I put the
And
incorrect one.
yeah, you put the wrong
Yes.
ammo
Okay.
text.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. So now, oh wait, actually, I'm stupid. I forgot to change the bull. You have to make it because by default it's semi-automatic. Automatic. Uh, I think it would be fun to try to make the recoil by changing the
Yeah.
rotation of the camera. Let's see. Yep, now it's automatic. And let's see if I stop. If I don't have bullets, it stops. So it is working. Okay. Thank you guys for being present today. Next time I'll prepare some visual audio effects with the reload, maybe recoil, and then different guns and transition between when we switch the guns.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys.